The military strikes against Iran have sparked intense debate in Congress. U.S. lawmakers are split on whether to support the operation and whether President Trump should have sought congressional approval in advance. Votes are expected later this week. Jeff Wagner looks into how the Constitution defines declarations of war in tonight's Good Question.
Swift airstrikes targeting Iranian military sites have thrust the U.S. into a new conflict in the Middle East. They are acts of war, which federal law defines as an armed conflict, whether or not war was declared between two or more nations. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth didn't shy from using the word in describing Operation Epic Fury.
We set the terms of this war, from start to finish.
Terms that weren't first discussed with Congress, angering some members.
There was no consultation, let alone approval from Congress as constitutionally required.
How is war declared in the U.S.? Good question. The Constitution states that Congress has the exclusive power to declare war. Constitutional law expert Professor David Schultz offers context.
The whole idea of a formal declaration of war goes back to our constitutional framers' fear of a king, that a king could just unilaterally take us into a conflict.
Congress has only officially declared war in 5 military conflicts. The most recent was World War II.
Things like the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, were not, quote, formally declared wars.
The Constitution also states that the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and preserves his or her ability to repel sudden attacks.
And the whole constitutional rub, if I can call it that, is at what point does the president have the authority to commit troops without, or commit the U.S. to any military action without congressional support?
Following the Vietnam War, Congress passed the War Powers Act to limit a president's ability to initiate military action. It required the president to notify Congress of military action within 48 hours and limit the operation to 60 days. Congress could even vote to end the operation.
If the U.S. is already engaged in military action, how practically easy is it for it to say, bring the troops home immediately?
It's actually become common for presidents to initiate military action overseas without congressional approval. President Truman ordered troops into Korea. President Reagan ordered strikes on Libya, and President Obama ordered airstrikes on Yemen. These acts of war only add to the confusion on what is actually considered a war in the U.S., leading to a continuous debate on just how much power the president has when it comes to our military. Jeff Wagner, WCCO News.
You might remember Congress green-lighting war against Iraq in the early 2000s. That wasn't a formal declaration of war either, but rather an authorization for use of military force. When the headlines leave you with a good question, just email Jeff through WCCO.com.